Hey guys, today I'm doing a review on a movie, Walt Disney's A Wrinkle in Time. It's based on the 1962 novel that was written by Madeleine L. Engel. I think I said her name right. If not, please let me know how you say it, but I think that's how you say it. The original story was written by her. I did not read the original. It's just viewing this movie as however Walt Disney is telling it. And I have to say that it was a really bad film for several different reasons. Its budget was $130 million. It only made $137.2 million, I think. So that's what they would consider a flop. The movie itself was critiqued a lot for having a lot of CGI. I actually didn't mind the CGI. I liked it just because it's pretty. But I feel like the movie itself lacked a lot of depth. I'm sure the book is amazing because it has lots of detail and the characters are probably much more well pronounced. This movie didn't have that. I actually hated the main character a lot. I didn't see what everyone else saw. I guess it was just a secret between herself and the little boy that liked her, because I was very random. She's supposed to be known as, well, not known, but just kind of how everyone made her seem was that she was this amazing girl. But when you meet her, she's a child, and just 4 years later, she's just this sad, depressed girl. I just don't really feel like we saw her at her best. And then towards the end of the film, she kind of starts to be better, but it's not better to the point where I kind of see what the whole hype about this character was. I also had a severely big issue with the way that the movie refers to warrior. To me, that's just not what a warrior is. I had a big pet peeve about this, and I actually Googled it. I Googled what a warrior means. And it's somebody who goes to battles and is very experienced in battles. I don't know if this was a reference towards maybe the battles of life, something like that, but I just didn't like the reference that this movie kept pushing down your throat. It was a very repetitive kind of thing. It was very cheesy. I mean, I know it's a Disney film, but it was over cheesed, like a little too much, like lots of Care Bears and rainbows and unicorns, and it was just sickening. It got to a sickening point. I didn't really care about the fact that she found her father. I was just like, oh, okay. And I mean, if you're a damaged child, it kind of pulls on your heartstrings a bit. It did for me, because I have daddy issues. But other than that, I mean, the film, the whole plot, the characters, everything is just so glossed. I feel like, and I love Disney. I want to put that out there because I don't want everybody to think that I hate Disney. I actually love Disney. Grew up watching it. Who hasn't? And I have my favorites from them. But I feel like the bigger they've become and the more companies that they've got underneath them, they just give out crap now. They're doing so many remakes. They're wasting so much money. And there's nothing really creative anymore. And even when they took an amazing idea like this, they still turned it into garbage. So I have a really hard time kind of believing that, they did this for our benefit. I just really had an issue with the way that not only this movie, but just several other Disney movies have been so far. The remakes are crappy as well. I think the only remake I actually liked was Beauty and the Beast. And that's probably because it followed the story, perfectly. But anyways, getting back to this one. The ending also was very didn't really leave me, with a comforting feeling. It was just, I don't know, there was a lot of things going on that I was just like, what? Random. And it was kind of typical too. I feel like they focused really hard on, this connection between the main character and the boy who likes her. Super random, by the way, for a boy to just follow. I mean, yeah, I understand he had a crush on her, but, the minute freaking the grass started getting wiggly and Oprah Winfrey and her glorious self comes out the clouds, I feel like any other random child would have been like, fuck this, I'm out. No, this isn't worth it. This piece of ass isn't worth it. This boy stood. And I was just like, this isn't realistic. They were all kind of like weirded out by it, but not enough for me. And that was weird. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm kind of hoping one day a mystical genie will come out of a sneaker, you know? But I'm still gonna be weirded the fuck out, and I'm gonna have a little more hesitation. Whereas, you know, the kid, oh my god, this kid, I'm trying to remember his name. Something Wallace, Charles Wallace. Oh my god, his name threw me for a loop. By the way, I don't know why, but his name bothered me because it was just so repetitive. She said it so many times, but the idea of this kid, and I don't know how close this kid's character follows the kid's character in the book, but I had a severe issue with just how all-knowing this kid is. Like, and they kind of made it seem like, you know, he's this great mind. But I feel like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like it's stretching it too much. Like, okay, yeah, I understand. You know, Stephen Hawking was a great mind at a young age. But this kid is almost like Einstein level. Oh, and not even Einstein. It's almost like mystical Einstein, where he knows all, he sees all, he is all. And it's a little too much for me. Like, I had a severe issue kind of believing all this. And then I thought, well, if the kid is so smart, you know, then this should be easy. But I feel like their journey was so, first of all, it was short. And second of all, it was just so like, it wasn't a journey. They made it seem like they were going on this epic adventure. It wasn't epic. They went to like maybe 2 planets. Maybe. The best thing about those planets was the cute little flowers that, you know, the angry main character couldn't talk to because, I don't know, her innocence was robbed of her. She was just so annoying the entire time. Talk about, like, you know, having that dark cloud above your head. She was like negative Nancy the entire time. And she doesn't really start to get better until the end of the film. The climax of the film, let's just say it was a joke. Like, the climax of the film is horrible. I get the message behind it, you know, love makes the world go round. I get it. But I wanted there to be so much more to it. I wanted there to be, you know, a climax. This was just more like a repetitive yelling and such a cliche of, like I said, love, you know, making the world go round, and love is the most powerful force of all. We get it. Can we get some more? You know, I just didn't, it didn't do it for me. And then with that, you know, it kind of made it seem like she was this great person. I'm like, no, I don't feel like you've earned that right yet. Like, I just don't feel like she did enough for that, to be that person. And I feel like it's because her development was so bad, and so she was just kind of like this voided character that, like, I don't know, it's almost like we were supposed to know how great she was, so they weren't going to bother giving us much information about her or anybody else, really. And it was just really sad. I was very annoyed by that. I didn't have a problem with Reese Witherspoon or, you know, Oprah Winfrey. I thought they were great. Mindy Kaling did a really good job. It's kind of random to see her in there, but she did a really good job. But once again, you know, their characters also was very kind of thin. Just like, yeah, we're travelers. We watch over people. We guide them. That's it. There was no quick, you know, snippet backstory. Just something else that would have made you like these characters a little more. There was nothing really to like them other than their gorgeous gowns and way over the top makeup. There was nothing really else that made you say, wow, these are amazing characters. I love them. You know, there just wasn't, they're forgettable, really. I don't really remember whose name was what. They were just kind of like, they're there, they're pretty. You know, but it's kind of like something shiny, and then that's it. That you're done. You're over it. So that, like, those were my main issues with the film. So I'm gonna go ahead and rate this film. I would say out of a 1 to 5, I'm gonna give this a 2 because it's really, really bad. And I hope that in the future, Disney will probably do, I don't know, more, better. Probably not. I feel like they've gotten too comfortable with their status. I just feel like they have this mentality where it's just like, boom, sparkles, amazing. We don't have to put any thought into this because we're Disney and we do great. And it's very sad to see that. You know, because just I feel like they have so much money and they have so many amazing things that they could do, you know, with that money and kind of push the barrier a bit, and they're not pushing it. So it's very, very sad. If you've watched it, let me know what your comments were. Let me know what pissed you off. Let me know how you feel about, you know, what Disney's doing as a company, and, you know, whether or not you think their films are even worth watching anymore. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button after this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.